President, first of all, I'd just like to, first of all, speaking to the bill, first of all, I'd like to note that last I checked, we're not in charge of the weather, and I can't control the weather. And everybody in Virginia knows we rarely, if ever, shut down because of snow. My recollection, 17 sessions I've served, it's happened once because of snow, 3 times because of a broken water system, which I didn't control either. But so the weather, I think, is more of a coincidence than anything. Secondly, I would just note that the voters are the ones that voted to change this rule in 1971 when the new Constitution was adopted, 52 days before I was born. And this statute is inconsistent with that. And that's why the statute was recommended to be repealed by the Division of Legislative Services over the summer. And I believe there was 1 or 2 meetings where there wasn't an issue with this until this lawsuit theory popped up. That's the second thing I would say. The third thing I would just note is that voters are going to have, and people are going to have plenty of notice on this. This bill is going to come out of committee. It'll go to the floor next week. We have to do 3 reads like everything else. The House of Delegates considered similar legislation earlier today in their P&E meeting. That's going to be in their chamber for first read. That bill will come over here. We're going to have another committee hearing just like this to talk about this next week when the House bill comes over. That'll get debated. It'll get 3 reads again. Be back on our floor. So we'll be talking about this all next week. So there's going to be plenty of time for conversation, debate, amendments, et cetera. And the last thing I would just note, Madam President, is I just find it ironic because I remember back in 2013 when I was sitting in another body when a big kerfuffle erupted on my side because a entirely brand new redistricting map that redrew every single seat in the state got dropped on the floor of the Senate and never even got a committee hearing. In either chamber, I would note, because it was dropped as a floor amendment and came back on a bill, so the voters never had a chance to do anything with that. And if my recollection is correct, the proponent of the map is the senator from Hanover. So and we want to talk about public notice and things of consequence. I just think it's important to remember that history from 2013. And we're going to have plenty of time to talk about this, and there's no map on this bill we have right here. This is just deadlines and legal issues. And I would also just note that there's this lawsuit pending in Tazewell seeks to stop the General Assembly from having meetings, and which I don't know of a court ever ordering the legislature not to be able to consider bills. But apparently that's what is being requested in this particular legislation, this particular lawsuit. That'll continue to move on in course. But anyways, for the record, I thought it was important to note those things.